Hey, I wanted to show you something, okay? This is my notebook that I wrote in, and I say wrote because I have filled it up. And I was looking through it the other day, and I came across something I had written down on April 19th, 2021. In this little notebook, I write down things that I hear the Lord saying to me, things, dreams that I may have had, or visions, or notes on Bible studies, and so forth. I write it in here. And so this is something I had written down April 19th, 2021. I'll show you. Okay. And it says, this is something I heard in my spirit that I felt the Lord spoke to me on April 19th, 2021. My people have been going through the motions, but they do not know me. There will be a latter rain of my Holy Spirit upon the earth, upon the peoples, upon all flesh. Hosea 6. So this is the word that I received, and he ended it with Hosea 6. He didn't say a specific verse, so I'm going to read to you the entire chapter of Hosea chapter 6. It's not very long. Come and let us return to the Lord, for he has torn, but he will heal us. He has stricken, but he will bind us up. After 2 days he will revive us. On the third day he will raise us up, that we may live in his sight. Let us know, let us pursue the knowledge of the Lord. His going forth is established as the morning. He will come to us like the rain, like the latter and former rain to the earth. O Ephraim, what shall I do to you? O Judah, what shall I do to you? For your faithfulness is like a morning cloud, and like the early dew it goes away. Therefore I have hewn them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and your judgments are like light that goes forth. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But like men, they transgressed the covenant. There they dealt treacherously with me. Gilead is a city of evildoers and defiled with blood. As bands of robbers lie in wait for a man, so the company of priests murder on the way to Shechem. Surely they commit lewdness. I have seen a horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is the harlotry of Ephraim. Israel is defiled. Also, O Judah, a harvest is appointed for you when I return the captives of my people. So that was Hosea chapter 6, as pointed out to me on April 19th, 2021. You may have noticed Hosea chapter 6, verse 3, which says, let us know, let us pursue the knowledge of the Lord. What I wrote down says, my people have been going through the motions, but they do not know me. Okay? And then, continuing, verse 3, his going forth is established as the morning. He will come to us like the rain, like the latter and former rain to the earth. And then, of course, my word says, there will be a latter rain of my Holy Spirit upon the earth, upon the peoples, upon all flesh. Now, we also know that Joel chapter 2 talks about how in the last days the Lord will pour out his Spirit upon all the earth, upon all flesh, and men and women will prophesy, old men will dream dreams, young men will have visions, and so forth. And so those two verses confirm each other. And so I wanted to share that with you. And when I came across it the other day, obviously I could not help but see the reference to what is going on right now. You may or may not be aware of the spontaneous ongoing revival at Asbury University, which is in Wilmore, Kentucky. It began last Wednesday, as I think just the routine weekly prayer meeting or Bible study or whatever there on the campus, and it is still going. It has been around the clock, and people have been flocking in from other states and from all over just to be a part of the move of God that is happening there. And I was blessed to be able to go there yesterday with my sister and my two kids. We went there for a little while yesterday morning, and I've got to tell you, it was the purest experience I've ever had in public. As soon as I walked into the building, the Holy Spirit atmosphere was so strong, it nearly knocked me to my knees. And it probably would have if it hadn't been so crowded. It was standing room only. And in fact, we only stayed about 45 minutes because they announced that the fire marshal had made it clear that if there was not a chair available to you, you needed to leave. Okay? Because they only wanted, so many people in the building, in the room at that time. So we stayed about 45 minutes and then we left so that other people could come in. And we heard a very good message from a guy. They had a moment of confessions of people who wanted to confess something. And then we, of course, had worship music. And it was unbelievable. I mean, I can't even begin to describe to you how it felt and the good time that we had. So, if you have the opportunity to go to that, then please do. I've got to make this quick because I have somebody knocking on my door. But let me just say, it's my prayer that it spreads, beyond Wilmore, Kentucky. I did a live video on Facebook. Hold on. I'm going to pause this and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, I did a live video on my Facebook page. I can't do live on YouTube yet because I think you have to have so many subscribers or whatever. So if you want me to do a live, then share and help build up the subscriber base. But I don't make these videos for that, okay? I'm not going to monetize or anything like that. But anyway, if you do want to see the video from the Asbury experience yesterday, then look me up on Facebook. I will try to link it in the description, okay? It's a mom looking up. Okay, so anyway, during my live video, I had people from other parts of the world watching. There was at least 2 people from Italy that had commented and was praying that the revival reach Europe as well. And I believe that it can, and it probably will. God is calling his people for a closer walk with him. And just like I made in a few videos ago, he is calling for his people to walk closer to him. He is calling for revival, and we are beginning to see the drizzling, of the latter rain, and it's my prayer that it becomes a downpour, So, Yes, and one other thing I want to say about yesterday is that my daughter is autistic. She's 19, but cognitively and, mentally, she's much, much younger. And so we took her there yesterday, and I can't even tell you how much it just warmed my heart and how joyful it was to see her face the moment she walked in that building. She usually does not like crowds at all. She doesn't like to be touched. She doesn't like crowds or loud noises. And so, but I just somehow knew that she was going to be okay in there, and she was. And the moment she walked in, instead of uh, trying to leave or whatever, like she would normally do in such a situation, her face just transformed. It was so peaceful and joyous. I mean, it's like she was glowing because the Holy Spirit was so heavy there, and I could see it upon her. And she actually raised her hand during the praise songs, and she hasn't grown up with that. We don't go to a church to where you raise your hands when singing or anything like that, okay? So she hasn't grown up seeing that, but it was something that I know the Holy Spirit was upon her and moved her to do. And it was a beautiful thing to see, and she loved it. I mean, she's been asking to go back. And it's just beautiful, I don't know how else to say that, but yes, the God is moving, and He's calling His people, and we're seeing public evidence of that right now. It isn't something localized. It isn't something internal, which is, it needs to be internal for each of us, but we're seeing a public display of it. The news was there. I was told that students from other states are being bussed in. People are coming from other states to be a part of this. I was told a group of students drove all night from Michigan to Kentucky just to be there. And so people are. This isn't a small thing. It's a beautiful thing, and I pray that it's just continues to grow and spread, and that everyone that maybe goes to Asbury to see what's going on takes it back home with them, and so it just continues to spread throughout the country and throughout the world, because time is getting very, very short, and there's so much things that are being reported on YouTube and the news and alternative news that, I mean, time is short. And to me, the biggest indication of that is this move of the Holy Spirit that is happening. So I encourage you all to try to be a part of that. Let's see. Oh, one other thing is someone had made the comment to me that it wasn't right for people to be moving about during the praise songs, during the worship time, that they shouldn't be like kind of swaying in place or dancing or whatever. And my response to that is to don't quench the Holy Spirit. Don't put out that fire. I'm not here to judge on somebody's motives. I can't tell you whether or not somebody is dancing before the Lord or dancing because they consider it some sort of flesh entertainment. But I can say that when I was there yesterday, I would have found it very difficult to be doing anything with impure motives in that atmosphere. Holy Spirit was so present, And I think any type of so-called dancing was done out of out of the wellspring of their spirit. They were joyful and dancing before the Lord and with the Lord. It wasn't anything disrespectful or worldly. At least I never saw anything like that. And I'm certainly not here to judge somebody's motives. And I certainly don't encourage anybody trying to put out the fire of the Holy Spirit. That is very, very dangerous territory. So I just wanted to say that. This has been long enough now, so I'll let you go. Thank you for watching, and check out the description for the links and all of that. Thanks. Bye-bye.